Welcome back to class. In this lecture, we're going to talk about the definition of an ideology. We'll define ideology as an interrelated set of ideas that explains social, economic, and political conditions and articulates a set of actions and policies designed to make life better for a target audience. An ideologue is one who advocates an ideology or whose words and actions are dictated by an ideology. An important aspect of an ideology is its explanatory function. Ideologies describe and explain the social, political, economic, and sometimes the natural characteristics of the world we occupy. For example, take a look at this data regarding the decline of violent crime victimization rates. One ideology might explain this decline as a function of the healthy economy during the late 1990s. Low unemployment led to less social dysfunction and therefore lower rates of violent crime. Another ideology might explain this pattern as a result of tough-on-crime policies originating in the 1980s. Better policing, longer prison sentences, and an expanded prison population took potentially violent criminals off the streets. Another aspect of an ideology's explanatory function is the set of assumptions and definitions that underlie the ideology's worldview. For instance, ideologies differ greatly in their assumptions about the nature of freedom. This is a gross generalization, but ideologies on the right side of the political spectrum, such as conservatism and libertarianism, assume that negative freedom is sufficient, whereas ideologies on the left side of the political spectrum, such as social welfare liberalism and socialism, argue that negative freedom has to be supplemented with positive freedom. Negative freedom refers to our freedom from government intervention in our lives, including freedom of speech in the press, religious freedom, property rights, the right of habeas corpus, freedom from unreasonable searches and seizures, freedom from cruel and unusual punishment, and so forth. Positive freedom refers to what you as an individual are able to do with your life. An individual may have all the negative freedoms in the world, but if he is malnourished, in poor health, uneducated, and spending all of his time working at a subsistence job, how free is he really? So positive freedom is the freedom to live a fully realized life with meaningful choices and actual potential to develop as a human being. It requires that government be actively involved in guaranteeing that individuals have the social, educational, medical, and economic conditions to be truly free. This may involve direct government programs like national health care systems or laws like bans against child labor. Aside from explaining the world, an ideology articulates an identity and a vision for the future. This begins at the symbolic level. On the left is the Nazi swastika, an ancient symbol that the Nazis used to represent their movement. On the right is the Soviet hammer and sickle image, used to represent the union of industrial workers and agricultural peasants. Beyond symbols, ideologies articulate specific political programs that address the issues of the day. Here are some historical examples. We may categorize political programs advocated by ideologues as utopian or not. Utopia is a word coined by Thomas More in the 16th century to mean an imagined place of perfection where social conditions are exactly as they should be and everyone is happy. Some of my favorite fictional utopias include the one described by Thomas More himself, as well as B.F. Skinner's Walden 2 and Ernest Kallenbach's Ecotopia. A number of ideologies have been criticized as being utopian, that is, positing a vision of society that is impossibly perfect. Fascism's utopia was, of course, only for pure-blooded Aryans. Marxism envisioned a workers' paradise in which economic exploitation was eliminated. Anarchism suggests that people will be truly free and happy when all government institutions and coercion are removed. Islamists envision the return of a pure Islamic state, while Christian dominionists see a Christian version of the same. Ideologies seek to mobilize mass numbers of people to accomplish their political goals. This is referred to as the social mobilization function of ideology. It is most obvious in the form of actual public gatherings like political conventions, demonstrations, marches, and rallies. But social mobilization also consists of motivating large numbers of separate people to perform individual acts like writing their legislator, voting, and donating money. Ideologies also provide individuals with a sense of identity. They offer their adherents the mentally soothing knowledge that they belong to a larger whole, something that connects them with a host of others.